Hi everybody, Jeff Johnson here with another edition of Clerk TV. With me now from Upson County is the Clerk of Superior Court, Teresa Meier. How are you?
Hey Jeff, good
Okay,
to see you.
I'm going to shake her hand a little bit more because, ladies and gentlemen, let me just tell you what. When I first started doing this, how many years ago?
8 or 10.
One of the first people I interviewed was Teresa.
That's right.
Okay,
That's
now,
right.
but it wasn't Teresa Meier then.
No,
What was it? Let's get this cleared up on here.
It was Teresa Harper, and I've recently remarried, and I'm married to Gary Meier. He's a detective at Peachtree City Police Department, and we've been married a year.
So everything is good. Teresa Meier used to be Harper, now Meier. Back on Clerk TV.
Back on Clerk TV, Jeff. I'm so glad to be here with you.
It's good to see you again.
Time.
It has been a long time.
A lot happens.
Listen, I'm excited about hearing a lot of the things that are going on, but real quick, let's tell everybody where Upson County is.
Okay.
How many, the types of people that are there, how many people you got, your industry, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Give them an idea.
All right, so Upson County, I always say we're in the middle. We're more west central Georgia than the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in between it's like a triangle. So we've got Macon, Columbus, and Griffin, Atlanta. So we're in that triangle there. So we're in the middle, but west central Georgia.
How many folks live in Upson County?
The total population is 27,000.
Okay.
So kind of small, rural community.
Major industries?
Not yet. We used to be textile. We're not so much anymore, or not at all anymore. Right. Unfortunately, a lot of those rural towns like that, the textile industry, left. So and when we were here 8 years ago, I was like, we're rebranding. We're still rebranding.
Everybody is rebranding. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't care where you're from, what industry you're in, you've always got to have that sense of forward momentum. And let me just say, I mean, here we are 8 years later. Have you seen that sense of new things? I mean, you've been in this role for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, when you got into this that many years ago, are you feeling good about what you've been able to accomplish in those years?
I am. I'm real happy where I'm at. Like, I'm real proud of everything we've done for I'm starting my 4th term. Well, I'm in the middle of the 4th term.
In the middle.
So, so much that the younger me saw, I've been able to accomplish. Technology, of course, has been a huge thing.
That's a huge thing for everybody.
Huge thing with the clerks, and so I was able to get all that in place. So now the focus has shifted a little bit. So we've got all the technology in place, but now the focus is shifting toward more of a record preservation type, like let's get our records scanned in, from paper to digital images, making more of the images and information accessible, which is what I was trying to do before, but it required technology.
Right.
And now we just need to get it into the technology. So we're doing a big scanning project, and we're running out of room, which we are about to build a new courthouse facility.
Well, now that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. With the clerks that I've been talking to and everything, that element of what you guys are doing, you're getting your technology right, that storage of these things. Because what's your oldest deed you think you got there?
1824.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. So 1824, and recently worked with CoFile, my vendor, to preserve some of my older books. There was an 1825 book that was just full of a lot of history, Civil War history. So we were able to preserve that book, and then recently just started preserving all of my military record discharge, the DD-214 records. So we're in the process of preserving those. So the vendors, which I have to give a shout out to the vendors, because we cannot do our jobs without the vendors. I mean, the staff's important, and we can talk about my staff a little bit.
And we're going to talk about the staff.
But we really cannot do our jobs without the vendors and the Clerks Authority. I mean, like, without those partners working with us, we would not be successful.
How do you think that the citizens of Upson County, when they come into your office, do you think that they can see the improvements? What do you expect? What do you want them to feel when they come to you?
They've mentioned how happy they are that they can come to the front counter, because now they can come to the front counter and they say, hey, I need to get a copy of my deed. We're right there. We're printing it out.
I mean,
on
right
the front
there.
counter. There's no going back to the record room.
Or wait a
pulling
week,
those
we'll get it.
books.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, or can I get it back to you in a week? No, it's instantaneous, which is, you know, the society. Everybody's, you know,
I want it
instant
now.
gratification, right? So they are, you know, so they're able to come to the counter and say, hey, can I get a copy of my deed or my plat or whatever the need may be. But we're able to give them that at the counter without having to delay, you know, for them to wait on anything. And that they love that. There's a lot of talk recently about, you know, property, you know, worried that somebody's going to scam, you know, take over your property.
A lot of that's going around.
And I think there's some things in the works to create a program, you know, some software that, you know, will notify people, you know, if someone does try to file a deed.
Oh,
but our
that's
county's
interesting.
really small, and so we don't really have those resources.
Right.
So we've got a few of our sweet citizens, I'll just put it that way, they're precious, and they'll come in every week and they're like, hey, can you check my deed, make sure nobody's filed anything?
So they come in.
And we do that for them.
How does that make, I mean, obviously your staff,
Right.
because what you're doing right there now, that's customer service.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Why is that so important to you and your staff? And talk about your staff.
My staff is amazing. I had a great staff then. There's been a lot of changes, of course, over the past few years, but the staff I have now is amazing as well. I've got a young man who's running my front counter.
Nice.
Who he loves helping people, and that's what you want. And he's only 19 years old. And
wow.
So he's amazing. He's got a very old soul, and so he strikes up a rapport with the customers, and he's so good with it with the elderly people who come in, just so patient. Someone comes in upset, then he's able to, you know, kind of diffuse that a little bit. So it's having the right person at the window is critical for what we do.
Yes.
You know, so I've got that. I've got a great criminal records clerk, civil, real estate. I've got a great staff.
You just got a good staff.
I do. I couldn't do, you know, what I do if I didn't have the great staff. So
that is always, that makes me feel really good, because I've not heard one clerk that comes in and says, you know, I don't like my staff. I'm like, well, you're not going to be in that position very long if you don't like
You
your
won't.
staff.
I mean, you're with these people, you know,
Yeah.
8 to 10 hours a day, you know, 5 days a week, and so, you know, having a staff that is loyal and that you know has got your back. Then that allows you to do other things, and they trust you. You know,
Yes.
when you have to make some of the hard decisions, you know, they trust you, and they know that you're looking out for their best interests as well. And so, you know, when you see someone working that hard for you, you want to do those things for your staff.
I just want to go back to the 8 years here, and I know that's kind of that's you know, you might not necessarily want to. If you could draw one major experience that has helped to shape those years, what would it be?
I guess
That's a tough one. I mean, you know, I know you got to go back and search.
Because there's so many different elements
Yeah.
and levels to what we do. You know, you've got the community aspect of it. You've got your staff. You've got the changes in the statutes and how we do our jobs.
I can
you know,
imagine that.
yeah. And then you've got the political side of it with budgets and money, and COVID added a whole new.
That's a new,
level
Yes.
to what we were doing and trying to do. So I think the perseverance would actually be one thing that first comes to mind, is that, you know, with all the changes that we've had to go through the last few years,
you still persevered. You were out there.
Yeah, and we're still, you know, trying to see how we can better serve the community. Like, what do you need from us? You know, what do you need from us? I mean, we have our job that we have to do. We have to, you know, process records, preserve records, prepare, you know, calendars and jury summons and all the fun stuff that goes along with being a clerk. But we're there for the community. I mean, they elected us. You know, we're there to serve them. And so just always trying to find a better way to do that.
Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
I don't know when you're up for re-election again.
2 years.
You gonna go another one?
Gonna go another one. Yeah. Gonna go another one. Yeah.
Okay, we just broke something here on Clerk TV, ladies and gentlemen. She'll be back again.
Hot topic here.
Hot news,
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Oh my God, if they
news.
do that breaking news thing one more time, I'll lose my mind. But with all of that said, you know, everybody knows you in the county, right?
Yeah.
So everybody knows what you like to do for fun.
They do.
And what is that?
Well, when I'm not at the office, when I'm not at the office, being recently married, my husband and I like to travel. We'll go to the beach. That's our favorite place, the beach. So
Gotcha.
We've been exploring different beaches up and down the coast. And
which one's your favorite so far?
Well, we've been to Pensacola, so that's been
very
that's been nice.
Don't you love that white sand?
That white sand,
that white
water.
sand is, and that water. Oh my
so clear,
God,
blue.
I love it.
Yeah, of course, St. Simon's on the other side, where we have our
But
clerks conferences.
still
It's
lovely.
always our, your first love.
Yes.
So, but yeah, we've been enjoying kind of doing that so far, and just spending time with my family. I have 2 sons that are grown, doing their own thing.
Excellent.
So I have a grand dog. No grandbabies yet. Hint, hint. But no.
I love, and I'm sorry I had to stop you right there
Go
because
ahead.
I'm in that same situation. I have a 26-year-old, and sometimes it's like, okay, well, what are we doing here?
how long
You ready for some, huh?
I want to be young enough to enjoy them, right? So.
All right, I tell you what we need to do. They're gonna. This is my prediction.
Okay.
They're gonna have some grandchildren,
Okay.
and they're gonna call you something. So the next time I interview you, I want to know what you want them to call you.
I've already been named. Let me tell you. So I have 2 great nephews.
Okay.
And the oldest one, he's 6 now.
Okay.
So he named me, and my other nieces and nephews, not the great nieces and nephews, but the older nieces and nephews always call me Cisa. Well, Connor, who is my nephew, named me Sassy. So out of the blue, he just started calling me Sassy,
Are
and so
you
everybody said that kind of
serious?
fits, So I'm going to be Sassy. I already know my name. I just need some grandkids to go along with that. So.
Clerk TV breaks another poignant,
another
heartbreaking breaking news story. Listen, Teresa, I'm going to give you this time just to look right in the camera and say whatever you'd like to say to the citizens of Upson.
I just want to say it's been an honor to serve you these last 12 years. I got 2 more to go in this term. And so it's been 14 years, I'm sorry. So 2 more to go in this term. I'd love to serve another 4 years. It's been an honor to serve. There's still a lot of things we've got to do. We've got a courthouse facility that we're about to build, and I want to, make sure we get that right for the citizens and the taxpayers, and make sure we've got that all good for the future. So I'm looking forward to what the next 4 years may bring.
Listen, thank you so much for being
Jeff.
here.
It's
We
been
do
an honor
appreciate
to
it.
see you again.
100%.
You always make it fun.
Always. Teresa Meier, Upson County. Jeff Johnson here on Clerk TV. Thanks for watching.